Consistency. If you're not consistent, you're not having success. Consistency, in my opinion, is the holy grail that drives everything that you want to accomplish in life. Any goals that you have that you want to achieve, yeah, you need motivation. Yeah, you need to take action, but you need that consistency to really make things work and have the success that you want to have with any goals that you try. The most valuable thing that I've learned in a daily goal is being consistent. Everyone talks about taking action, having motivation, but without being consistent, that action and that motivation is wasted. Success and consistency go hand in hand in all aspects of your life. If you're working out, you want to get in better shape. If you want to eat healthy, if you want to have success in your business, have success in your marriage, anything you do and you want to have success, the consistency is what matters. And if you have a goal to be consistent every day, those small wins will add up to big wins down the road. I was in the same boat. I was taking action in my wholesale business, but I was very inconsistent. I wasn't having the success that I wanted to have. I'd make calls one day, I wouldn't for a couple days. I'd make calls another day. I'd get new leads one day, I wouldn't get new leads. Then I'd get more leads. It just wasn't consistent. And I was taking action, but because that wasn't consistently happening, I wasn't having the success and really putting the time in and the consistent action that I needed in order to have the success that I wanted. So once I started to focus on action every day and be consistent on that every day, that's when things started to happen. People get into trouble when they aren't consistent, they get discouraged, then they quit or they try something new, and then you never get anywhere and you never make any progress and get where you want to go because you don't give it enough time. You're not consistent enough. And that's when you get frustrated, quit, try a new thing. Oh, this doesn't work. I need to try something different. That's when you can get into that analysis paralysis and that constant changing something new because you don't think it works. And really, the only issue you were having is you weren't being consistent with that one thing. I've talked about this before, the hedgehog concept, focusing on one thing, just going all in on that one thing, being consistent, getting that success, and then you could move into other things. I heard something online the other day about how some of the most accomplished and richest and famous people that you know went all in on one thing and they had success in that one thing and then could diversify and get portfolios and rentals and do all that stuff, but they had success with that one thing first. And that was because they were consistent, they never gave up, and eventually they got the results that they wanted to have. This just proves that taking the action isn't enough. Just having the motivation isn't enough. Having the consistency is really what matters. Taking the action, being consistent with that action, that's what gets you the results. The hardest thing that I've had to overcome, and I'm sure others have had to overcome and need to overcome, is thinking that everything needs to be perfect. And then the fear that you have kind of coupled with that imperfect or that perfection mind set, the fear of all that. So for a wholesale business and what we're doing, the fear of talking to sellers, the fear of if you do get something under contract, what are the next steps? How do I find a buyer? How do I get pictures? How do I fill out a contract? All those things that you have fear of and not even starting because of that fear is one of the biggest and hardest things to overcome. And then once you can overcome that fear, take imperfect action, not being perfect, and then be consistent on top of that, that's when you start to have the results and any success and meet goals that you want to hit for your wholesale business or anything else. An example of this is following up on leads. Everyone has leads. Everyone needs to follow up on leads. So calling leads every day and following up every day, whether it's a month or a year, keeping in touch with those people, having that communication open, then next thing you know, people are calling you. I just had a lead that I've been working on for 3 months, 4 months. Once it got into my CRM until now, they just texted me the other day and asked if I was still interested in buying the property. So now we're looking into it and going to try to make a deal out of it. If I wasn't consistently following up with that, that person wouldn't have had my number. They wouldn't have known I was still interested. They wouldn't have reached out to me when it was time and when they were ready to make a move. Another example is posting on social media. I post to get exposure. I post to help others um, in my wholesaling business and in theirs, but I also post to hold myself accountable. So I try to be consistent with that posting and post good content that people want to watch. Just last week, someone reached out to me, a local real estate organizer, asking if I wanted to speak at one of their events. So if I wasn't consistent with my follow ups and the posting, that would have never happened. If I had only done it every once in a while, I would just look like everybody else, posting stuff every so often. And if I wasn't consistent, then I wouldn't have got that text about the property. I wouldn't have got someone reaching out to speak at a local meetup, an event. So that's what I'm trying to do and be consistent with those things. And the success follows and the results follow. Every day, my goal is to take imperfect, consistent action. I know if I can do this on a daily basis, I will have wins on a monthly basis and a yearly basis to come. Without consistency, you won't have success, regardless of the action that you're taking. So take imperfect, consistent action and do it now, and you'll have the success and results that you want to have.